All right, everyone, welcome back to the Talk Gaming Podcast, Episode 3. I'm here with the one, the only, the Seventh Sword, Rich Red One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Back after a crazy New Year. How was your New Year, Rich?
Oh, my New Year was great. How was yours?
That's pretty crazy. Why am I Falcon? I didn't choose Falcon.
I will actually. I will say. What are you doing, man?
I don't know. I screwed up already. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Good New Year.
Yeah, very good New Year.
Parties or what?
I got a girlfriend now, so.
Ooh, girlfriend.
Oh. Yep.
Oh, friend. Nice, Rich.
Yeah. I know.
Good
She's
job.
amazing.
Talk about a New Year's resolution, huh?
Yeah, but enough about that. We're here to talk gaming, right?
Yeah, let's talk some gaming. So we left off last week talking about how we're going to go into indie games. Talk about some indie games upcoming, some of our favorites, stuff like that. Because I don't think indie games get enough credit for what they do, for the way they innovate, the way they change the game instead of giving us the same old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah. So what were some? Were there any indie games recently that you played that blew you away?
So, an indie game that I really loved that I played, I've been following it forever, Crosscode, but they finally actually released it at the end of last year, and man, that game is just so high quality. I recommend it to anyone who likes Zelda, Chrono Trigger, any sort of old, SNES style game that you had a lot of fun with. It's just so good. Have you heard of Crosscode, Chris?
I have not played it though.
Oh, you should. Another one that I really loved, Hollow Knight. I beat that one. So good.
Ooh. I played Shovel Knight. I have not played Hollow Knight though.
Shovel Knight? Oh, Shovel Knight. That's a classic. Love it. I mean, that game
is
not even an indie game anymore. It's now a legit AAA title at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hollow Knight's up there with Spelunky. You ever play Spelunky?
No, but Bob played Spelunky a lot. I've seen it.
Yeah, that game is hard. Spelunky's always been one of my favorite ones. I love that one. But I think one of my favorite indie games that I really want a sequel for, and I know they made the co-op version called Don't Starve with Friends, but Don't Starve. I don't know if you ever played Don't Starve.
I have, but very briefly.
Yeah, Don't Starve is basically like a survival co-op game before survival co-op games were like a big thing. It's obviously it's not side-scrolling, it's more isometric, but it's got a really cool art style. It's kind of like cartoony, comic booky, and it's got survival aspects of it. Like you starve, you have hunger, you actually have your sanity meter. Like at nighttime you gotta stay by fire, stay by light, or else you get attacked. Later, Rich. And this is really cool. This is one of my favorite games. It's really good to play with friends as well. It's just you're going to chop down trees, build a little base, upgrade the base. You gotta craft items, things like that, things to survive, and it's really cool. Get through the seasons. There's different seasons in the game, like summer, winter, spring, fall, all that stuff. So it's a really cool game. Yeah, it's definitely a fun game to play with friends. But I remember I played it on PSP or PS Vita when the Vita was out and hot for the 5 minutes it was hot for. But I remember it was one of the best. It was one of my favorite, besides PlayStation All Stars, Vita games to play that I really enjoyed. And Soul Sacrifice, that was also a very good game.
We played Soul Sacrifice. I got a Vita and I bought Soul Sacrifice day one. We played it. I remember that.
Yeah, that was the game.
Yeah, poor Vita.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I know.
see, because the indie game scene, the Vita's perfect for those games.
Yep, absolutely. All those handhelds. I think that's why, Nintendo's. I mean, we'll get into Nintendo in a second, but I think that's why Nintendo's killing the game right now is because they're becoming the mobile home basically for all that whole platform indie games. And so there's tons of games on there that are being ported, that are being brand new games that are coming to Switch that I'm pumped about. So it's just gonna be like an indie powerhouse, I think, and I think that's exactly what Nintendo needed since they don't have a lot of first-party support. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, their in-house development team though. Their first-party
beast mode.
Yeah, it really is. Woo! Check that out, Chris. Gotcha.
So did you ever play Super Meat Boy?
No, but I think that's another one that Bob played. There's so many games. I have a list of games that I want to get to one of these years.
If you ever actually sit down and look through the indie catalog of games coming out, I think Nintendo just released 30 just a couple days ago, 30 new indie games on their Switch in one day. They just dropped them in there. I'm like, damn, dude, I don't have all that time to keep up. But there's just a lot of games that are dropping, a lot of new games coming out. So Super Meat Boy was awesome, dude. That was one of those like, oh shit, I've got to pick a character. Whatever. Super Meat Boy was one of those games that was like, they would consider it the souls of indie platforming, games. It's just one of those games that just will test your patience so hard, because you basically got to get from one end of the level to another. If you get hit once, you're dead, and you got to restart the entire level. You also are on time limit, so you got to get there in a certain amount of time. There's little collectibles you got to get, so you got to figure out how to manipulate your way around the entire map. And it's absolutely insane. But it was definitely one of my favorite indie games. It was extremely difficult, and it actually provided a pretty good challenge. Oh, later, Rich.
I'm fine.
Whatever.
That's the cool thing about indie games, is because, I mean, sometimes they fail because they don't have a lot of, you know, oversight. But I think that same reason is why some games drastically succeed. They can implement ideas that a publisher would be like, no, we can't risk that, you know?
Yeah, that's too much of a risk. This is and for the most part, they're all brand new IPs, you know?
Exactly.
99% of the time, so they can take those risks, and they can make those changes and things like that, and try to innovate. I think indie games actually really drive the industry more than AAA platforms. Even though those AAA games make more money, I mean, you see a lot of AAA titles that take from indie games, take ideas from indie games, you know, that become huge. Like, I mean, for example, I'm not even gonna. I was gonna say Fortnite, but I wouldn't consider. Back in the day, like,
no.
Here's the thing, though. Right? Here's the thing, though, right? Fortnite back in the day, I would consider maybe a mild indie game. It was more early access, because when Fortnite in like 2012, 2013, when it was first announced and like put out there for people to play, it wasn't a battle royale, and it was nothing like it is now.
I know.
It was more like it's crazy, and people don't know that. And it was more of a like a survival / tower defense type game. And it was actually pretty decent. Like, we played a lot of Fortnite back in like 2013 when it was first. I think we got. I think there was like a certain time period where you had to download the beta, you know, the early access, in order to, you know, own the game completely. And then if you did, you owned it. So we had gotten it in a certain time frame that it was open, and we ended up playing it, and it was actually really fun. It was a really cool, you know, like, concept. And so I wouldn't know if I would consider that indie, but that's a good example of, like, you know, games that take you know, formulas and try to do something with it, you know, on a major scale. But yeah, I think indie games are absolutely necessary, and I think they don't get as much credit as they should, you know. And there's some really good ones out there. Like, I don't know if you've played Fez, but my all-time favorite game ever of all time, besides Shadow of the Colossus, was Fez, and that was an indie game. And Fez was absolutely insane. It was just something completely different, never done. It was 2D but 3D at the same time. Later, Rich, I just whooped your ass. It was 2D and 3D at the same time.
You have 3 lives.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. It was 2D and 3D at the same time. You can you know, turn the map sideways, turn it clockwise, counterclockwise, whatever, in order to solve puzzles. And the puzzles were riddles. I hate you. The puzzles were riddles. They were just like little pieces of the map you had to, you know, collect, put together, things like that. And the way the game made you think was just insane. It had its own language. And I remember I had a notepad, and I played it with Bob. You know, we played it separately, not together, but we both had a notepad by the end of the game that was like completely full. I think it was like 2-3 pages long of just these notes that we had taken on the game, just in order to progress. And it required math equations. It required like just a lot of thinking, and it was one of the coolest games I'd ever played. And Phil Fish, the designer, ended up obviously having some kind of crazy breakdown, because the game industry is very critical, obviously, as you know, on social media and stuff. So he couldn't handle it, and he just said fuck it, and he basically quit the gaming industry as a whole and started making like music and stuff like that. So it's really a bummer, because he had announced Fez 2, and then I think just a few weeks after he had announced it, he just got sick of the social media and, you know, the industry in general, and just quit. So
that's so sad.
I know. I really wanted a Fez 2. Like, I would have been all over that shit, and then that happened, and I was pissed because people were laughing at him, and I was like, that doesn't benefit the gamers at all. I don't know why you guys, you know, are laughing.
No,
and like, he was known for being very arrogant and stuff like that. He had his own issues, but it wasn't cause to, you know, send death threats and all sorts of stuff and make him quit the industry, because I just think that we all lost. You know, we all lost out on Fez 2.
I mean, look at Minecraft, the quintessential indie game, right? That's now a AAA title that Microsoft is supporting year after year after year, you know, and it came from an indie developer. So it's so awesome. But then you also have a lot of games that just aren't good out there too. But I think that's even the better part about it, is that you have these failures, and those failures lead to successes, and they can fail, because it's not. I mean, yeah, like, to them obviously it's a personal failure, and it impacts them greatly. But in the grand scheme of things, the ones that move on and they learn from that will make a better game next time, and they're probably not financially destroyed. And like, a publisher is not going to be like, oh, we can't, you know, take a chance on you now because your game didn't sell 25 million copies or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of them. I think it's kind of like being in a band. You know, I was in a band back in the day. It's like you start out local, local band, and you're trying to get the attention of the labels and like the booking agents and stuff like that. So you got to play small shows. You play shitty shows, make mistakes, things like that. And I think that's kind of how I look at how I view the indie game industry, is that they're trying to get large funding. Like for example, I mean, look at all the studios that Microsoft just purchased. And a lot of those studios make indie games, and
you're gonna be Captain Falcon again?
No, I'm gonna go back.
Change.
A lot of those studios, create some solid indie games. So I'm pretty pumped. Like Ori and the Blind Forest, that was super solid.
That's so good. Yeah, I love that game. And Ashen just came out, the Dark Souls inspired indie game, and I've been playing that. I started that recently, and man, it's really good. It's got really good atmosphere. It's really cool. Like so far, I'm really enjoying it. And there's also another indie game looking forward to that I've been keeping my eye out on. It's supposed to come out this year. It's called Ghost Song. It was supposed to come out last year, I think, too. But it's basically a Super Metroid or Metroid-inspired game, and it's so good.
Kind of like Metroidvania style, or?
But it's definitely but it's definitely more heavy on the Metroid, like the atmosphere and everything. It's really good.
Well, look at that.
So I mean that's
pretty sweet. Yeah, I started Ashen with Brandon, I think, when he was out here visiting, and it was a good time. I just wasn't in the mood to play it, but then I was messing around on the Xbox Game Pass, just kind of looking at what new games they had for free, and me and Bob were messing around on there, and we found this game called Sinner: Sacrifice for Redemption, and it's obviously clearly Souls inspired, but basically how the game works is it runs really well, 60 frames per second. I think it's 1080p, definitely not 4K, but it's very solid looking game, very super solid controls. And kind of like charming in its own way, but it's basically boss fight simulator. So you start out the game, just fighting out some ghosts as kind of like the tutorial, and then there's 7 main bosses you have to beat. And every time you fight a boss, it makes you sacrifice something on your character, like armor, sacrifice your equipment, how many health potions you have, sacrifice how much damage you do, and halves your health, and you gotta make it through the boss fight with half health.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super cool, and it was a pretty sweet challenge too. And so at the end of it, once you sacrifice, 7 times, and your character's basically, like a nub at that point. Then you fight the main boss, and I won't talk about what comes after that, obviously, for spoiler reasons, in case somebody plays it. But it was definitely a really sweet game, especially for free. And I think it's an indie game that nobody's probably ever heard of, and that should get a little bit more attention than it's getting.
I'll check it out. There's another indie game called Wizard of Legend that came out last year too. It's a co-op game. Wizard of Legend. Have you played that?
I have not.
It's a co-op game where it's kind of similar. It's definitely a boss run, but you go through these dungeons first, and you can only buy what you find in the dungeon. You can only recover what you find in the dungeon. So by the end you are weak, and you have to rely on your skills.
Okay, that's kind of the same.
But you
concept.
learn new spells, and you can go in with a base set of spells, but you can equip more as you go through the dungeon. But you can't equip all of them when you walk in. If that makes any sense. Like you have to earn them throughout, and then you lose them if you die. So you have to find them again. So it's really fun. Yeah, it's really cool. I have it on PC.
Yeah,
I think it's on PS4 too. So definitely check it out. But I mean, there's so many indie games. I think I would like to dedicate an entire episode one of these days to just breaking down a few. But that can be in the future. I think for now we should talk about the benefits of big publishers as well, because indie games have their benefits and their downfalls, and so do big publishers. Of course, you get a higher quality product. You get more polish, all sorts of stuff. So
you also get some negatives to that as well. You get some negative Nancy just because of the state of the gaming industry now, but. You get a lot of that bullshit microtransaction DLC.
Microtransactions are the best, Chris. Stuff. I have a video going over that, okay?
You know what? If anybody wants to hear the rest of this podcast, you gotta donate 50 cents.
50 cents. So, every 50 minute.
50 cents. Yep.
And you'll get a cool skin for no, we'll just send you a pudding skin single or something in the mail.
Nice. Oh, speaking of AAA developers, did you watch the latest 15-minute gameplay video of Anthem?
I saw the 15-minute, and then I saw the 8-minute gameplay too. So yeah, that.
Yeah. How did you feel about that?
Okay, so Anthem.
All
right. What I noticed is, first of all, the 15-minute gameplay was the first mission, so it's kind of hard to. You can't judge the whole game off that first mission. It's tutorial. I did see a lot of Destiny-like qualities where it's go here, hold a button, wave of enemy comes. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just I hope the whole game doesn't do that. I hope it does switch it up and you do some more interesting things because these, you know, these suits you're in have unique abilities. So it would be really cool if the world had, you know, some sort of puzzle-like elements where you needed to solve some stuff either by yourself because the game knows you're by yourself, or if you're with a crew of different types of exosuits that you needed to use their abilities to get through the area as well. That, like, basically like a raid almost all the time happening, like mini versions of Destiny's raids just throughout the world at all times. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But one thing I do like is the movement and the combat is so fluid and polished in that game. It looks so fun.
As we can tell.
Yeah, as we saw in the, you know, the pre-approved gameplay footage that, you know, but I mean, it still looks really good. Like, even if it's half of that, it's still gonna be really fun, you know? So,
I'm gonna go now. You ready?
Yeah, go.
So, I watched it, and obviously, anybody who knows me, anybody who talks to me on a daily basis knows how skeptical I am now of AAA games.
You are super skeptical.
Just because of all the bullshit and I'm not going to go into that, you know, go on a rant, but so I'm super skeptical. Now, here's the thing: is I really, really want this game to be good because I think we need a game changer. It's been a long time. You know, when was the last time we had a game that just changed it? You know, just blew us away, like, you know, Spider-Man. You know, that was probably the latest one. Last of Us. You know, Uncharted.
Right.
Nothing has
and Halo back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. But there wasn't really anything
like that.
Right, there wasn't any really new IPs that came out and it was just like destroyed. So I'm really hoping this game succeeds, but looking at the gameplay video, it got me excited, but it also scared the holy shit out of me at the same time. And the reason is because of similar to what you said. It's obviously it's EA, right? EA is notorious for microtransactions and DLCs and the typical bullshit. It's a AAA publisher. You get what you pay for. So with that game, just scared the shit out of me because that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, but you still suck. With that game, it's like I'm looking at the world because they've been mainly showing off this huge, expansive world, right, and how gorgeous it looks flying around in your exosuit and things like that. And they keep doing all these demos, you know, like NVIDIA demos, tech demos and stuff. They're using it basically like a showcase, you know, for their new tech and stuff like that, which is good, but it's also worrying because when I was watching them fly around the map, it just looked very beautiful and open, but it also looked very barren, you know what I mean? It didn't look like it had a whole lot going on, and I'm just afraid that it's going to go down the line of Destiny, that Destiny went down where it's just, you know, as you're flying around, there's just shit, you know, little events that pop up, like, oh, kill this thing here, kill this guy here, oh, there's a drill coming down, let's get the glimmer, you know, that kind of bullshit. Yeah. And I'm just afraid it's going to turn out to be like that. And when I was watching the missions, the entire mission, all the missions that they showed were just go here, press this button, and fight off the horde. Go here, now hit this button and wait for it to charge or to repair while you're fighting off hordes of enemies. And like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, I've done that 1,000 times. I don't need that bullshit. I want some real depth. I want a story. Like, I want some awesome quests, some huge boss fights, some epic, you know, moments. And I'm like worried that I'm not going to get that because you think they would have showed that in that 15-minute gameplay video, but they didn't show anything like that. Which is concerning.
They don't want to. I mean, at the same time, they don't want to spoil like the best part of the games either.
But here's the thing, though, is that if they had plenty of variety, I think they would have showed at least one of those moments. If they had multiple of those moments in the game, not just one or two or three. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but I mean, it's
kind of worrying. But at the
we
same
don't even know what I'm sure they have some sort of raid thing planned too. Like, I understand your skepticism because it's EA, but then at the same time, it's like you want to be positive because it's BioWare, and it's the A-Team BioWare. It's not the unfortunate Mass Effect Andromeda debacle where they just like, hey, Steve, can you make Mass Effect for us? And Steve's like, I'll try.
Yeah, I'll do what I can.
Yeah. Which, no, I mean, that was EA's bad management. They didn't hire enough animators. They were clearly focused on Anthem. They were like, BioWare, make Anthem. You know, and it kind of sucks because that could have been as rushed and as, you know, unpolished as Mass Effect Andromeda was. There was still a good game hidden in there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I just don't want. I think there's just. Yeah, there's just so much hype behind Anthem, and they went radio silent for a good amount of time, you know, like, and then they delayed the game after, you know, the whole, you know, Star Wars Battlefront loot crate fiasco. So I was afraid that they were going in that direction. So what I'm afraid of is just kind of getting a half-finished product that changed last minute, and now it's just kind of all over the place. You know what I mean? So I'm just skeptical about it in general, just because of all these games like that have come out and have just been shitfest lately with all the you know, monetization and all that stuff. So I'm just hoping it doesn't turn out like that, and I really just want a good co-op game. You know what I mean? Like Division was probably one of the last super good co-op games I played, and even then sometimes the missions got kind of repetitive. Ooh, yeah, you like that?
Nice. That was a nice kick.
Yeah,
I was trying to do my double. I was about to teleport through you, but you kicked.
I know you felt that one too, because I heard you go, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, it was just
you
really
felt that one
timing.
in real life. Yeah.
I've been hurt.
Oh. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I think not Destiny. What am I saying? Division was one of the best. No.
Best
God.
game ever. Destiny.
Nope.
Chris loves Destiny. Better than Shadow of the Colossus.
Nope. Destiny. Colossus. Shadow of the Molasses.
Shadow of the Molasses.
Let's try without lightning. But no, I think Destiny 2 was probably one of the best. Or not Destiny. Now you got me saying Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny.
Never.
Better than Shadow of Molasses.
Never ever. Worst game. I think you know, Division was probably one of the best co-op games recently that we got. That was more large scale, MMO-esque. You know what I mean?
I agree. It was fun.
I just want something.
It was missing some
like
stuff,
that with a little bit more depth. Yeah, which makes me excited for Division 2. I'm hoping that goes correct as well. But I mean, going back to Anthem, I'm just worried, and I'm like, in a good way, and not worried like, oh, it's gonna suck. I'm worried like, please don't screw it up, because I really want it to be good. That kind of thing, you know. It's an Iron Man the game, dude. Who doesn't want to play Iron Man the game?
I know. And you know what though? I mean, as much as we make fun of Destiny and like, there's a lot of cool things there that we wish that they just had everything else worked out. And because of the recent split where Bungie has now left Activision, yeah, exactly. Now we'll see. I mean, I don't think we're gonna see many changes in Destiny 2, because I think it's, you know, there's not much they can do. It's already Activision.
It's the stepchild.
You know?
It's the stepchild of Bungie or Blizzard.
Right.
So.
It'll get. I mean, I can see it getting better, but it's not gonna. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be drastic. Where the drastic change is gonna be is in the third title.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we'll see.
It's going to be solely owned and operated by Bungie.
So now we'll see who the real culprit is. Was it actually Activision, or you know, is Bungie more at fault for Destiny than Activision is?
So do you feel like it's going to turn out better? Destiny 3 will turn out better than Destiny 1 and 2?
I feel like it has a much better chance. Yeah, because now it's all in house. It's all in house now.
Yeah. So just so anybody who doesn't know what's going on, basically what happened was. Bungie, who made Halo, they made Myth, they made Pathways into Darkness, they made Destiny, obviously. So Bungie, who's got this amazing track record of games, they've never made a bad game. Myth, Marathon series, they're all amazing games. I played every single one of them. Halo, everything like that, and then Destiny came out. They've never ever made a bad game until they partnered with Activision and they came out with Destiny. And honestly, some people liked it. I think, Rich, you liked it, Destiny. I wasn't a fan because it was not the product that they had promised to put out.
I enjoyed it with
entertaining,
friends,
right? It was entertaining with friends, but it wasn't anything to write home about, and I was just super disappointing because I felt let down, lied to, that kind of thing. So they had this 10-year agreement going where they were going to partner, make games together. You know, Bungie or Activision was going to be Bungie's publisher, things like that. And so they came out with this idea of Destiny. They released it. It didn't go as they planned. I think it's still not going as they planned. But then 8 years into this 10-year contract, they decided to have an amicable split. So they decided to part ways, and I think it's because of the way Destiny 2 is turning out, especially Forsaken. It didn't sell as much as it was projected to. So I think that's why Activision was just cool with letting Bungie, split. There's obviously some other things going on in the background that we don't know about because this just happened, but this is what's going on with them right now. So I'm just kind of giving everyone some backstory about what is going on, before we jump into it. But so again, going back, do you think that the split is good for Bungie and Destiny IP as a whole?
Yes, I actually do, because I think this is a good time for Bungie to rebrand themselves again and bring back basically a return to form. This is their chance. This is the best chance they have, because now they don't have Activision breathing down their neck. They can, if they make Destiny 3 good, they can literally come out of this and they can look just as good as they used to. They could basically say it was all Activision's fault. But if Destiny 3 flops and it has a lot of the same problems that Destiny has had as a franchise that haven't been fixed until now, then obviously it'll be clear that Bungie has lost its luster when they split and it became, Bungie and then 343, the team that stayed behind to continue making Halo. So it is possible that because of that split, a lot of just the magic is gone. Yeah, it was that team working together that they kept each other in check. They were able to compromise and put the good ideas in and get the bad ideas out and not be as greedy and all that stuff. So
yeah, I think it could be good, it could be bad. I think honestly I have faith in Bungie because they've never let me down until they came out with Destiny, which I knew exactly why they let me down. So I was never directly angry at Bungie, and I think over the years a lot of people who had left Bungie during the phase of Destiny being created and everything like that had actually gone on record on Reddit and whatnot and they stated that most of the reason Destiny didn't turn out to be the way that they promised was because of pressure from Activision to make a certain product and then monetize it, like with the Eververse and things like that.
Right.
We don't obviously know what's true and what's not, but only time will tell. Once Destiny 3 comes out, we'll see what they do with it. But I have high hopes. I think it's good because I think nowadays AAA publishers are getting called out for what they're doing to the industry as far as monetization, bullshit practices, pushing agendas, things like that. And I think the cat's out of the bag. You know what I mean? Now Activision is under indictment. They're in deep shit for possible inside trading. So
I did not know that.
Whoa. Oh yeah, so that was just I think they just pushed that out the last 24 hours. There's a massive investigation that just got started because they think that some of the suits in Activision knew what was coming as far as the split goes. So they before the stock dropped, and I don't know if you saw, but Activision's stock dropped by 10% overnight. So
oh wow.
So
yep,
they were somewhere around $51.55 per stock. And then it dropped to I think $45 per stock, which is a 10% drop. So you got to think from their standpoint, if you got a couple $1 million, $10 million invested in their stocks, you lost 10% of that. You know what I mean? So people are obviously pissed. So they're calling them out, and they think that there was some insider trading going on because all these stocks were sold, and there's all this shit going on, and all these people are getting rich off this whole split. So there's a massive investigation going on, and it's just kind of like crazy. And I think it's something similar going on with EA, the loot box fiasco and all that stuff. And I think all these publishers are just getting called out on their shit now. And I think
good, yeah. I think it's because microtransactions it's clearly gambling, man. It's clearly it's the same exact triggers in your brain.
Yeah, and I'm cool with microtransactions, like little things, like if you really enjoy a game, and there's been some games I bought microtransactions for, like if I really enjoy a game and I think that they put their all into it and they want to sell me a cool skin for a couple dollars, like I'll pay for the skin because they did a really good job with the base game. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you sell me 75% of the game and then expect me to buy the other half of it just to finish the story, I'm not going to buy that shit.
Right.
And I'm not going to spend the money. And like Call of Duty releasing this, Activision's under fire right now as well because with Call of Duty they have this reticle going for $5. Dude, it's a red dot sight reticle. It's a fucking red circle that they're selling for like $5. And
what?
And so people are pissed and they're like, "What is this? We paid for the season pass. You don't get it for free in the season pass." And people are just fuming. And I think it's to the point. We're at the tipping point now, the Titanic. where people are just sick of it. You know what I mean? And I think that this Bungie Activision thing, and people for the most part on Twitter, on Reddit, all that stuff, are stoked for Bungie and the split.
Yes, I'm happy about it.
They're super happy about it. I'm stoked about it too. And I really wish other companies will start looking and doing that. And like even if you look at Blizzard, dude, Blizzard and Activision are going through the same thing, and Blizzard is in turmoil right now. Their Diablo announcement, Diablo Immortal or whatever it's called for the
mobile game. Yeah,
the mobile. That was not what people wanted. People are pissed. So they're in a really bad spot right now. They lost I think 2 executives and a whole bunch of staff. Activision is actually paying people from Blizzard to quit. So they can save money basically. And so they're just it's just a mess right now. And I think Activision is just as a whole, people are starting to realize what they've been doing to the industry and how they fucking all these people over. And I think they're just in a really bad spot right now with the Bungie split, and their stocks are down, and it's just like I don't know if there's coming back from that, like strong. And it's just one of those things where they've already kind of had a bad name for themselves based on alienating all the Call of Duty fans and stuff like that. And so I don't know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy times. And it just makes me worried for Anthem because Anthem's EA, and EA's got its own issues with all their games going on. I'm not even going to, but
yeah, I know, I know. We'll see. Hold on, my headset's actually dying, so I have to charge it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
yeah.
Where are you at?
Wow, Chris.
Yeah. Wow. What happened, Rich?
All right. I see how it is.
Where are you at, Rich? Your headset die? Hey, Rich, I got something for you. I'll just go ahead and shoot you off the edge here. Later, Rich. Oh, come on, Rich.
No!
Oh, later, Rich. Yeah!
I just grabbed the controller back.
Yep.
Wow. All right.
But for Anthem, I mean, we got, what, it's February, what, 22nd it comes out? I think that's what it is. But
it's funny because they still show that in that demo. Is like, this is alpha gameplay. I'm like, your game is 2 months or a month from release.
Yeah, I'm like, what exactly. I saw it too. I was hoping I wasn't the only one who noticed that. Yeah. But I was like, alpha. This is like, you guys have a couple months. So I'm hoping the rumors aren't true that it's in bad shape. That's what somebody had said. Like, an insider apparently had stated that the game was just in, like, not turmoil, but it just wasn't. It just ran like junk, you know. And I'm hoping that they're not showing that on some kind of $6,000 PC. You know,
yeah,
well, something unrealistic.
I want to look into that and see if they're running that on a PS4 or a PC. Probably a PC.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I mean, at the end of the day, we always got Nintendo, Rich. We always had Nintendo. Yeah.
We always got Nintendo.
And I love Nintendo because I think Nintendo just wants to. I love the fact that Nintendo. Most people hold it against them, but they do their own thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, Nintendo's just like, if you don't want anything to do with us, that's cool. See ya. We'll do our own thing. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of their strengths. And a lot of people give them shit because they have all these IPs like, you know, Metroid and Mario and Donkey Kong, you know, things like that. Smash Bros. that they constantly, you know, release. But the thing is that every time they release one, like this game we're playing right now, or New Super Mario Bros. U, or Pokemon Let's Go, something like that, it's a smash hit. Zelda, like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, everything that they put out is quality. Every single IP that they've, I mean, for the most part. I mean, Mario Party, but you know, for the most part, has excelled. It's been phenomenal, and I find peace in Nintendo. Whenever I fire up my Nintendo Switch, I get this like feeling. I'm just like feeling good because I feel like I'm not gonna get microtransactions and DLC shoveled down my throat and shit. You know what I mean?
Right. And any DLC you do get is high quality DLC, and it's worth the money. You know, it's worth it. Yeah,
and I get the sense of security with Nintendo. So like, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just hoping that things change for the industry in general, and I'm super pumped that Nintendo's got, you know, Metroid coming out and all sorts of other. They got a Bayonetta 3 exclusive. What's that? What else? What was the other guy that they just announced? Marvel or not Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That's coming out as an exclusive.
We'll see what that looks like. But I mean, the thing about Nintendo is everybody they come up with an innovative idea and then everybody copies them all the time. Like handheld. The DS,
they've been pioneers of the industry.
Yeah. So Sony was like, "Oh, we'll do PSP." Didn't really work out for them because Nintendo already had that market in spades, which is sad because the PS Vita was just such a great piece of hardware. Sony really should have just given a PS Vita to everyone who bought a PS4. Then guess what? Everyone has a Vita. Now you have a market for it. Boom. Yep. But and look at motion controls. Kinect. Everyone is still trying to incorporate motion controls into gaming now.
Yeah, they had Duck Hunt back in the day with the light gun.
They had VR back in the day.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
So
and
then
they've
now
always been innovators. Now they have the Switch.
I guarantee you that the next PS5 is going to have some sort of mobile connectivity if it doesn't come with a tablet or some sort of controller or some sort of smart. I mean, they already have smartphone connectivity for consoles now, but I'm saying more integrated into like a second device where you can take it with you on the go and stuff. I guarantee it.
You know what my favorite part about Nintendo is though? Is that, I mean, we're all guilty of this, right? We've all done it, especially me, when they announced the Switch and stuff like that. But when they announced new innovations like the Switch and stuff like that, everybody doubted them, right? I
never doubted them.
I was like, what the hell?
Nope.
I was like, what are they doing? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? What are they doing? And so they've always been known to innovate. And what I love about Nintendo is that they're going to try this new thing. I mean, I think one of the only commercial failures they've had was the Wii U. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just poorly marketed. It was terrible marketing.
Well, the Switch is what the Wii U should have been.
Right, exactly. It was actual portable gaming on the go. But you know, Nintendo was just quoted saying that, I think a couple days ago, that they're not going to stay in the console market forever. They want to stay on the path of the Switch and make things more portable. Which
That's awesome.
At this point, I mean, back a couple years ago before Switch came out, I would have been like, oh hell no, they're screwed. You know what I mean? But now that they've done the Switch and they've done so well with it, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go Nintendo. Like, I know I'm not going to get screwed over. They're not going to sell me, 20,000 different peripheral / real life microtransactions for games. They're going to give me 2 controllers to play games. They're going to give me everything I need. If I want anything extra, it's just all added stuff, that's not required, not necessary. But like, I feel a sense of security with Nintendo, and I love what they're doing, and that they're not letting outside sources influence what they do. They've tapped into the DLC market with Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild, but it was good DLC. You know what I mean?
It was, yeah,
it
exactly.
Was solid DLC,
and it wasn't that expensive. It was $20 for everything. So
yep. And it was good, and it was good, solid DLC for a really solid game. And the thing is that when you bought that DLC, you didn't buy it because you thought the game wasn't finished yet. You know, the game felt like a finished game, finished product, and you bought the DLC just because you liked the game. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think that's what a lot of publishers are doing wrong. But I'm just pumped for Nintendo. I love my Switch. I like the games coming out.
It's just such a good design. You can play it at home. You can play it on the train. You can play it on a plane. It's so good. It's so good. The only thing is, obviously, they need to improve on his battery life. I mean, you can buy battery packs and you can get portable chargers and stuff, but it'd be nice to have a battery that could last like 15 hours or something. You know? Yeah,
battery life, online play. The next thing I want to see from Nintendo is a console just like the Switch, with obviously extended battery life, maybe a better screen, but also, you know, some kind of like mobile, I don't know how they would do this, but like mobile data play, so no matter where you are, you can always connect it to like a Nintendo server, so you can always play online, you know what I mean?
Well, they'd probably have to partner up with Verizon or T-Mobile or Sprint or whatever, you know?
Because I have a Surface Pro, you know, that I use for work and just overall general, you know, computing or whatever, and I have my, you know, T-Mobile card plugged into it, my SIM card, an extra SIM card, so I can access internet anywhere. I would like to see that on a new Nintendo console, you know?
It makes sense, you know? Or, I mean, at the end of the day, though, I think eventually, well, we're not there yet, but you know, globalized internet, you know.
Yeah, at some point.
Where there's Wi-Fi everywhere, and their internet is just just basically you know, like a public service at that point.
Yeah. So a lot of cool things to look forward to, a lot of things to be skeptical about, but I'm pretty pumped. There's still a lot of good games that are on the horizon coming out really soon, so I'm excited. I'm also, you know, worried for things like Anthem. But I'm pumped for people like Bungie, you know, and I really hope that things work out for them, and I hope that we get the Destiny that we actually deserve and that we actually wanted, you know.
I know. I mean,
because it's such a cool concept, and I think Anthem's playing off that. You know, they're trying to give us what they had promised, but I'm just hoping that they do it correctly, you know.
Yeah, you know, there are rumors that Nintendo's going to release like a Switch Pro, basically.
Yeah, that's supposed to be coming out sometime this summer, I think. So we'll see what that has. Hopefully there's some kind of big difference for me, big incentive for me to actually go get one of those, you know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, battery life's gonna be big. Again, I want, like, the only thing Nintendo needs to now do is just get a really well done online. I need to be able to voice chat with you on my Switch. There's a microphone on the thing, isn't there? For like
when you on the Switch.
Yeah, well, isn't there one? Yeah, isn't there one on the Joy-Cons or something? Because like where the games you have to like blow into stuff, right?
I know that was Wii U, but I don't know if that's on Switch, honestly.
I don't know if that's okay. I have to look into that. I don't know.
I know it was Wii U for sure, but
yeah.
But yeah, so cool. So hopefully 2019 goes good. It's starting off a little rocky for a lot of people like EA, Activision, but we'll see.
But
Blizzard,
we got
Bungie,
Kingdom Hearts coming. We've got Shadows Die Twice coming. So there's a lot of good games already coming out in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
And then Resident Evil 2 remake. That's happening.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2. I played that demo yesterday. I actually beat it. It was actually really good.
Oh, the demo's out? I did not know.
Yep, it was good. So you have to get on that, Rich. And Devil May Cry 5 demo was actually really solid. I was not a fan at first of the demo until I got to that end part where you fight that big boss, and I was like, okay, all right. So we'll see. We'll hope that game turns out pretty well.
There's also Devil May. Man, I did not realize there were so many. Like, I've gotten used to an era where there just aren't demos anymore.
We were just high-fiving. Did you see that?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. I know. I miss demos, but anyways, so I think we're over time. We're 39 minutes, so we should wrap it up.
Let's finish this fight, though.
Let's finish this fight. I think you're about to finish it in about 30 seconds.
I don't know, Chris. You gotta fight for your life, Chris. Come on.
I'm fighting. Get that mine away from me. Oh, I'm still in. I'm still in. I'm still in. And I'm still in. I'm still in, Rich. And I'm out. Alright, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in this week. It's been awesome. Hope you guys all had an awesome new year. Let's get pumped for the things that we have coming up, and then keep voicing your opinions, to these companies about what's right, what's wrong, what we should and should not be doing, and let's help evolutionize the industry.
Yes. And as always, we'll see you on Wednesday next week. Talk gaming.